Can you dig it? It's the controversial duo on the mic. Pedge Tattoos and Marco bring you the Mood Lounge Show.
Hey, welcome to the Mood Lounge Show. I'm your host once again, Pedge Tattoos.
I'm your co-host once again, Marco with a K.
So welcome to show number 42.
We are finally back.
The 40 deuce.
Yep.
The 40 deuce. Yeah, we're finally back.
After deucing it on YouTube for a bit.
Yeah. So what ended up happening was we got we recorded a show and we dropped some shorts and then we got reported. And it wasn't like because I sent like, you know, proof that whatever we were talking about was legit. It wasn't conspiracy. It wasn't hearsay. It wasn't whatever. And they still didn't care. We pissed somebody off.
Probably.
I'm not going to say the three names that I said and the disease, but I'm going to leave it be. Leave it at that. So if you guys want to go back and, you know, whatever shorts you want to watch, you watch. But, yeah. So we're back on. We're in the process of
Trying to get back up to speed.
Yeah, and not only get back up to speed, but we're going to start doing lives. So we're probably going to do 2 shows a week now. One live one where we interact with the guests. So we're letting you know now that look for our post where it says we're going live, and we'd like you guys to come on. We ain't asking for money. Whatever you guys want to give donations, we appreciate it 100% because you know, we put a big nut into this production.
Pause. Sorry, go ahead.
Pause?
Yeah.
Why? Because I said
Why are we putting nuts in the whole setup and everything?
I'd rather have... all right, whatever. It's my fucking...
Dude, yeah.
It's my way
It's
of
just your way
talking.
you're talking, yeah.
But anyway, we put a big nut into this production. And not the kind of creamy nuts we're talking that Marco's got in his brain, but we're talking about, you know, a lot of money. We put in a lot of money. We'd like to upgrade, maybe add some more stuff, so we could always use a donation. If we get a donation, we'll start giving out free T-shirts to people who give out donations or whatever. We'll give a shout out. We'll do what we need to do, and we're gonna start doing more stories from the street because I did a show. I did an interview with Frankie Fiordolino on 52 Topics with Frank Fiordolino. And a lot of people got into the stories and the way, you know, me and Frankie had a nice camaraderie, the way we just bouncing off each other. So I will like to have Frankie come on and we'll do a whole in-depth, who's Frankie Fiordolino, you know, and talk some street and maybe make like 3 episodes out of that interview with Frankie. It's going to be a great show. And hopefully they'll have me back on whenever they need a little, you know, a little of the influence back, you know, what we were doing and, you know, some shit. But like I said, I dropped it in the last link. I'll drop it back again. I'll drop the link in the description box. If you guys want to go check that out. And let's get the show started. So we've been gone for 2 weeks. We already posted show number 41, and I was like 2 weeks late. But in the news...
Yeah, all this crazy shit happening. What do you want to say?
Crazy shit. Helicopter smacks into a fucking a commuter plane, kills everybody.
So was that connected to the planes that were just like going down, like straight down and like fucking crashing into like?
I don't.
Because like I'm so confused.
I don't know because right after that, 2 days later, a plane just.
Okay, that's
Yeah, it just dropped in Philadelphia. It just went down like a sack of shit.
Yeah.
Now there's video coming out of the actual plane going down like, I'm talking like a rocket.
Yeah.
I didn't see wings on it. I just seen like the tail, and it's just going like that. So we don't know what's going on. They saying it's a plane. Don't look like a plane crash site. It looks like a fucking missile site.
There's 2 videos that I've seen, and like one of them looks questionable. I don't understand. Like the other one, like it's dash cam. It's like you can see it going down. It looks like a plane. You know what I mean? It's going, and it's gone. You know what I mean? But like, forgot which other one it was. But like, it looked like it popped out of thin air and like went fucking way faster than it did in the other video. So I'm like so confused.
Yeah, that's why I'm not getting it. I don't know what's going on. And then today, sitting on the crapper, looking for some more, you know, topics to talk about.
Sitting on the shitter looking for shit. Yeah, the fuck.
So an F-16 went down. And it just went down like this. Like, it was like...
That's
like,
probably...
just like this. And it just went, boom. So, look, I'm gonna make a big distinction here between the drones that just was seen all over.
Somebody's using EMPs.
Yeah, somebody's using EMPs.
Or some shit's happening. Because that doesn't make any sense.
I don't know if there's any swamp people left, and they're just pulling all these strings for shit to happen. Like, hey, if you don't like what we have to say, and you trying to
make it all biblical and shit. Let's fucking have all the fucking planes fall out of the sky.
It's either that or it's
ain't that like in the Bible somewhere, some shit, or
what?
Like some weird ass
falling out of the sky.
Yeah, stars falling out of the sky, shit falling out of the sky or something like that.
Yeah, stars falling out of the sky.
Yeah, I don't know. That's ridiculous. But.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know what to make heads or tails of it. The only thing I'd like to say is brought to you by La Migra.
What?
Brought to you by La Migra. Immigration. That's what they say out in Cali. When you say migra, it's like immigration's coming for you. But all I'm seeing is videos of New York City quiet, nobody on the streets, which I don't remember New York ever being like that.
Yeah.
It seems like everybody went into fucking hiding because ICE came out and basically,
Take it.
Yeah, man. So it's insane. They rounded up. They did a fake sting.
Really? Yo, they're fucked up with those fake things. Like, did you see that video? Like they took an ice cream truck.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
Yeah, no, you got to look it up though, because it's so fucked up. They're playing ice cream music, driving down the fucking street.
Listen,
with the Border Patrol star on the back. It's like, bro, you know what I mean?
Listen,
you can have a side of vanilla and a deportation.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, for real, man. You know, Choco Bean.
Yeah, Choco Bean.
But like, yo, for real, like, Trump has said what he's gonna do, and he's been in office 2 weeks, and he has fucking just cleaned house, man. He's just doing what he needs to do. He signed executive orders. He did tariffs on Saturday. So China's got a little bit of a tariff hit. Canada and Mexico are fucking bombarded. Colombia said they won't take anybody back. They returned the flights back to the United States. And then Trump said, okay, I'm going to impose a fucking 35% tariff plus this, plus that. And he was like, here's my presidential plane, bring it back. So, look, it is what it is. These countries can all say they don't want to take anybody back. He's going to mass deport them. They're going to land, and he's just going to empty them out. It's just, and then he cut all foreign aid to everybody for 90 days. So the only thing that I saw that was hysterical was a guy in Africa saying, what more do you want? It is not our country. We are not paying the taxes.
Right.
Why are you waiting for a handout? And it's the truth, bro. This guy was saying it like it is, So
Why are you gay?
I don't know,
Who says I'm gay?
we have yet to see. I'm still making my prediction. Trump's shaking up a lot of shit, firing people. This DEI stuff is disappearing. It's gonna be war in the streets.
The whole concept. I gotta ask, like, what was the concept of DEI? Again, like, I don't understand it.
It was just a stricter version of affirmative action. Affirmative action is you have to let in minorities and people with disabilities, but it's mostly minorities and women into certain jobs, into positions.
Well,
even
why?
though
the whole point is that you need to be qualified in what you're doing.
But they did that because they were saying it was an unequal thing, even though blacks make up 30%
they
of the
can
population.
they can go to the school though. You know what I mean, and like learn and like get the skills necessary.
I'm with you on, and I'm
so
on
it's
board
like,
with
I just
that.
don't understand that.
Right, I'm on board with you on that. But a lot of people are just like, no, we need to do this. So now with this DEI, it's like if you're LGBTQ, black, Hispanic, female, half a fucking you're the first one to get a fucking job, bro.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so I look, and they can try to label like the jobs like, hey, we're not a DEI hire chief or whatever.
But
now
they still ask you. They still ask you on the forms, are you Hispanic? No.
Yeah.
Okay, what ethnicity are you?
Look, I got one thing to say, and I don't care if I ruffle any feathers. My parents had to come to the United States. They had to speak English. They had to learn one way or another to communicate. Yeah, even though they stood in their Yugoslavian community, they had to learn. Okay? It's a plus when you go to your stores and whatever. That's nice, but you still have to be assimilated to the country you're in. So everybody made the effort in the 70s. This Spanish as a second language, I apologize if I'm offending anybody, but it's not right. Trump should make a law. English is the only language spoken. No more 50 different languages on 50 different forms. Because, you apply for food stamps. On the back, it's Spanish first, Polish, Creole, Ukrainian, Russian, I think Romanian, Serbo-Croatian.
The list just goes on.
Yeah, it just goes on. And it's like, I don't give a fuck. Why are you catering to people? Right. It's like, let them learn the hard way. Nobody's going to get fucking hurt. You're going to get your ego bruised a little bit and your fucking pride and whatever because people are making fun of you and whatever. But, hey, I went through it in the 70s and the 80s, and so fucking what? It doesn't kill you, makes you stronger.
Even then, like that, we have technology now that's like not, you know what I mean? It's going to make that way easier. Yeah. You could just use the fucking Translate app on your iPhone. You know what I mean? Not everybody has an iPhone, but the point is fucking you have...
Oh, but these migrants do.
Yeah, but the migrants do, which is a little weird. You know what I mean? So they could go fucking translate it. You know what I mean? You don't need to keep catering to them like that.
Yeah, I just think, look... You're breaking the law. You're coming in illegally. That's it. If you get fucking political asylum...
You have no right to be pissed off if they're kicking you
100%.
out.
100%. And I saw this one guy, in Spanish saying it, and the subtitles were, like, translating what he was saying. And he was basically saying, oh, my God, I came here, and they woke me up at 3 a.m, and they, and they took me and separated me from my wife and kids, and this and... You should have thought of that when you came in.
Came in illegally? What the fuck?
And they're like, oh, my God, and, they took away our food stamps, and why do we have to take care of anybody?
Right.
No, man, this integration shit does not work. Let them come over legally. Let them come into a camp like everybody else did. I don't care. We have some people that came illegally. And it is what it is. It's just wrong, bro. Come in legal. And if you do come illegal and you kind of like overstay your visa or whatever the story may be, just try to get legit. That's all people are asking for. But you working on somebody's other social security number and you're paying taxes and then you think, hey, but I'm paying my fair share of taxes on somebody else's name.
Right.
That doesn't count.
That's not fair.
You're breaking the law twice. So I can sit here and ramble on about this and whatever, and I'm getting a little fucking agitated because number 2, Trump should do executive order. You can only fly the United States flag in the United States of America. You cannot have another flag. Yeah, you could put a little car flag in your car. You could put, another flag on your lawn, but it's got to be way more smaller, like 1/3.
They already did that or whatever.
That is a law in the books, but nobody's enforcing it.
Why?
I don't know, because it is what it is.
We're not in fucking Guatemala or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Or like some other fucking place, so that's not fair to just fucking...
Look, we could sit here and talk about this shit till we turn fucking purple. I just wanted to give the viewers a little something about what's been going on, and, if you guys got something to say, drop it in the comments, but I want to get off this.
Another thing, if we're going to get off this, I got to ask, who the fuck made up the fucking rumor that Trump wants to ban skinny jeans?
Yeah,
I've been looking everywhere, and like it's such bullshit. It's like
we heard it in the gym, and somebody told us about that, and I said I'm gonna go look it up, and I typed it in everywhere. I was looking everywhere.
It's like it literally said like fake article. You know what I mean? Or
it is a fake article.
It's like I'm like, okay, that's like a really funny joke, but like fuck you for saying that.
I think it probably came out on Babylon Bee, which is like a fucking joke.
Is Babylon Bee?
Babylon Bee is just like they make so much fun of shit, and they even say.
So who the fuck started running with it?
I don't know, man. Stupid people.
That's stupid though.
Stupid people started running it, and word of mouth, and before you know it, because nobody wants to believe the legacy media anymore. So, whoever did it did. You can't ban skinny jeans. I'd like to see them banned.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't? Honestly.
I'd like to see baggy jeans banned, and I'd like to see those jeans where the ass come out, the skinny jeans where the ass come out, all of that. If your ass is out, ban it. Like, for real. I mean, like, whatever.
Ban your ass.
Yeah, ban the ass,
Yeah.
So, but, yeah, I want to get off that subject. I don't want to be sitting there and talking about fucking
skinny jean ban.
Yeah, fuck that shit, man, But, yeah, shit's turning. He's cleaning out the swamp. He's firing people. They're taking forever to fucking to bring these people in and his cabinet picks and stuff to confirm them.
Yeah.
Little by little they're confirming. I just say like stop with the fucking hassle. Let them be confirmed.
Yeah, who got hassled? Like I think it was 2 weeks ago before the show like got banned or whatever. Who got hassled like at that Senate hearing or whatever it was?
Pete Hegseth.
Pete Hegseth.
He got fucking reamed.
Yeah.
And he said some good shit like, "Oh, you ain't gonna do this. You ain't gonna fight for this." He just turned around and he goes, "I'm not a general." Because they were like, you should ban generals from, taking a position of authority, blah, blah, after they retire and whatever. And he was like, that's fine. I agree with that, but I'm not a general. So I don't need to like agree to anything. I'm a regular soldier, and and
Right.
a patriot. So whatever.
And they got all hypocritical.
Yeah, and now they're giving fucking RFK.
Were you ever drunk? It's like literally they have bottles of liquor like 2 rooms away from there.
Yeah, and the guy
Were
was
you ever
asking
drunk?
was drunk. He's like, "You ever drink? You ever drink? You ever drink?
You ever
Have you
drink
ever had
Hennessy?
a beverage?"
Have you ever had cognac?
Yeah, right. So,
Yeah.
well, whatever, man. Let's
then-
just
yeah,
get the
that was
ball
fun.
rolling. I just want to,
Yeah.
I just want the ball rolling. Continue doing what you're doing, Trump. God bless you. God bless America. So, since I'm a little agitated, I'm going to talk about
What are you gonna talk about?
what grinds my fucking gears.
What grinds your gears?
Well, what grinds my gears a lot, and I hate that it keeps coming full circle back, like circle back Saki keeps
Right.
coming back.
Thank
I
God
don't
she's
like
gone.
I don't
Anyway.
like people that lie. I don't like people that lie in disrespect, and I do not like when somebody to my face blatantly lies where okay, maybe if I was a young buck your age, maybe a little younger, maybe I'd fall fucking prey to that because I don't know any better. But my man, I'm on this planet 56 fucking years. A good 3/4, I don't know, whatever, since I was 13. Since I was younger than that, I've learned that people are full of shit. And I don't tolerate it, and I don't like, the way they just blatantly fucking, try to cover their tracks and lie more and continue and and then they give you attitude, whatever the fuck. Look, this grinds my fucking gears. I fucking hate people like that. You need to wake up so early in the morning to try to get over on me, and it's not gonna fucking happen. It's like, and then if I have to tiptoe around you all the time now, wondering, are you lying again? Or I have to sit there and fucking start 1,000 questions. That's not somewhere I want to be.
Right.
And I know you 100% already know all of this
no.
shit because you already have
agree
gone
with
through
you,
this
man.
shit through whatever, middle school, fucking high school. So you already fucking got the gist of it. And as I've always said, that little, when you were really little, I said there was a cartoon where a father and son was walking over these hills, and it was saying how it says, hey, you're entering city limits.
Oh, adulthood or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, you are now entering
okay,
adulthood, and on the bottom, instead of saying it's saying population so and so, it just said beware of the bullshit.
Yeah.
I tried to teach you that from a young age, and I just, I'm sick. At 56, I'm sick that I still have to deal with this. It's like,
Dude, I'm sick at 20 that I gotta still run on the people that are like that.
it's just, and then people wonder why I kind of seclude myself and alienate myself from fucking people. Because, dude, I don't like drama. I don't like this shit.
Right.
I don't like he said, she said. And that's always what's involved in lies. He said, she said. Okay? And then once you grill everybody and you catch that the person was fucking lying, it's like, well, how do you move past this? For the viewers, if you're going to bullshit, stick to one bullshit story and stick with that, because bullshit usually piles up, and then you have to bullshit some more about the other bullshit, and then you're bullshitting even more about the other, and then you forget what bullshit you bullshitted about, and then before you know it, it's just like you're surrounded by
shit.
bullshit, and it stinks. The room stinks. You know what I mean? It's like I can smell you coming even before you pull up to the fucking driveway. It's just like, is that person here again? It's not, bro.
No.
So, that grinds my gears, and it's been kind of fucking,
Fuck. Just God forbid you enter the fucking room pissed off. It's like you're just sitting there.
Look.
Yeah.
Look, I have respect tattooed on my hand.
Yeah,
on
I
my
know.
arm. I have it. See, it's respect. I have respect tattooed for a reason, because all those years that I was in the street, and this is why I'm saying the street now, because we're gonna go into street stories next. So I'd like to fucking throw in some stories about the street. But I had my reputation. I learned to tread lightly. I did fuck up when I was a teen. I said the wrong thing I shouldn't have said, got my ass handed to me, got beat up, got a smack in the mouth, gotten worse than that. So I had to learn. You don't rat. I had to learn you don't fucking dry snitch. You don't, you don't do any of these things. You stay loyal, okay? And as you're growing up, by the time you get to 30, you have already weeded out or this guy's a scumbag. He's always going to lie. This guy's a snake. He's always going to try to fuck you over and bite you. So you start learning. So you distance yourself from these people. And then by the end, like, you've got 2,000 people, which are the acquaintances. And then at the end, when you're like by your 40s, out of those 2,000, you still have acquaintances, but you have in your inner circle, you don't have 20, you don't have 30. You can count on one hand. You got 2, 3, if you're lucky, 2, 3, if you're lucky, and everybody comes in all shapes and sizes. There's the people that want to help you, but they're still scumbags. Then there's the people that'll do anything for you, but they still fucking talk behind your back. It's like, what do you need? You need some money? Here you go. Oh, I let that guy borrow money because he's a crackhead. It's like, dude, I needed to pay my fucking bills. Like, I didn't say anything. He said that. Like, and it just goes into that he says, she says shit. See, you can see it's actually irking me. What the fuck? Insert Alex Jones.
Literally freaking out right now.
Yeah, for real, bro. Because it's just aggravating. It's just, I
fucking veins are popping in my neck.
Because it's like, that's all you got. Look, I've taught Marco this, and I'm gonna say it. There's only fucking one thing that you have in this world, okay? Oh, well, you do the Scarface thing where he goes, I got 2 things in my fucking life, my word and my balls, and I don't break them for nobody.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So you
that
got your
seem
word.
To be anywhere here now.
Yeah, so. You got your word, and I always say, you got this. You got your face. You got your cheek. This is respect, okay? Romanians do this, okay? Serbs just point, but Romanians do this. You got respect. So if you don't have this, that's it. You don't have anything. You need to have this. And I taught Marco that from a young age. Anywhere he goes, he can hold up his head high because of my reputation. And I taught him to be the same way, to follow in those footsteps and those guidelines. So I earned my respect on the street. I got my ass handed to me. I learned quick. So, like I said, I tattooed it for a reason. I came back to the neighborhood after a long pause, and I had to make my bones kind of all over again. So I tattooed the respect because I get my respect. Everybody you've met in New York that has run into me, and I say, this is my son, what's the first words they said out of their mouth?
Your dad's a man of respect.
That's it. It's like, that's...
And then they go on, like, tell him, like, he's a good father, listen to him, I'm like...
Yeah. So I appreciate that to everybody that knows me and that has been face value, honest and filled with integrity, that I am who I am, and I'm never going to change, So with that, we're going to get into some stories from the street. And Marco's already heard like a ton.
Yeah, I could already.
So Marco's going to just try to be kind and say, hey, but what happened then? Like, just to fucking...
Yeah, I'll try to interview.
Because Marco knows like pretty much my whole fucking life. It's just, it is what it is. I just hate to fucking bother him with it. But I wanted to do this because we have some new followers that I think from the Jeff Nadeau, the sit down, subscribed. And I want to thank Jeff for putting up the link and allowing me to, put up my my backdrop. And for the people that, subbed onto our show, thank you so much. So I'll try to do some more, like a little...
Throwing your head around, what?
Like throw a little of that mob shit around, just a little bit, just to keep the people intrigued and informed and whatever. And if anybody's got questions and they want to ask me about the past mob life, I will answer them in due time. I'll even throw your name out, shout out, and I'll write it down. I'll take the best ones I could answer. I will answer. And because of Frank Fiordolino, on 52 Topics with Frank Fiordolino, I got a lot of people following too and study. Now, every time I drop a show, and I know it's not their cup of tea, what we do, but, maybe they find me entertaining or whatever, and I want to thank Frankie for that, for dropping the link. Let me promote again on his show as well. So for those people, we're going to start doing stories from the street. So...
what do you want to get into?
So, I don't know if anybody's seen any of my MobTube content, but I will like to tell the story of how I got into this life. So
how you started off, basically?
How'd I started off? Yeah. So when I was really young, my mom, after she got divorced, she had this guy, and he was a Romanian dude, and he was known in the neighborhood. He, finagled in drugs, and he's a gangster, whatever. So
Was he well known or no?
Huh? Yeah, he was well
he was
known.
like-
yeah.
okay,
I
so
ended
he
up
was
finding
like-
out he was a rat. He ratted, but he used to work for Carmen Galante, a bunch of other guys. But I mean, I remember him taking me to Mary and Joe's restaurant and parking out in front. 77, I think it was. It was a little fucking kid, fucking 8 years old. And he'd be like, "You stay in the car," and he went inside. And then I remember Carmen Galante coming out. So it was wild, I didn't know who the fuck he was. Just an old man, you know what I'm saying? And then he's like, every time he'd go there, I don't know if he was trying, what's weird is, what was he trying to accomplish by bringing me there to show how powerful he is? To influence an 8-year-old to show how powerful you are, that's a sick mentality.
Well, you know how people were back. I don't know what it is with people in the life, but like how they have like little entourages. You'll have that one guy that like he has no clue about anything about the life, but somebody brings him around just to show off to him.
Sure,
you know what I mean? So it's probably the same thing that.
Yeah, but
I
mean, to a kid, I mean, I can understand
because he's got nobody else, right? You know what I mean? He wasn't doing it to your mom or whatever.
My mom,
right?
he did it with my mom too. He took her somewhere.
Then he's just very egotistical.
Yeah, he's just trying to blow smoke up everybody's ass. But I mean, don't get me wrong. He was a black belt in Hapkido. He could take care of himself, but he was kind of a bully. Okay, I found this all out afterwards. I had a few run-ins with him after,
right?
And it didn't go anywhere. He didn't fucking nothing. So I'll get into that. But yeah, I got in. That's how my eyes were open. And he was connected to a lot of Spanish gangsters. So he would go to Spanish Harlem and he'd go to Bushwick. He'd bring me there too, leave me in the car. Whatever. That's like child abuse. But so people would come to the house. They'd leave their guns in the kitchen. I'd be in the fucking kitchen, fucking around, looking at the guns, picking up this fucking 357, holding it. And I remember him always yelling because I used to waddle when I was little. So he used to call me Penguino. He goes, "Penguino, don't touch the guns," whatever. So he was a bad influence because he taught me to disrespect women. He taught me to just to be a scumbag, which was the worst thing to try to influence a kid like that. I still did my own fucking thing, but he saw that I was a problem, and he tried to get rid of me by planting drugs on me and my mom, whatever.
Well, hold on. How did that what do you mean?
Well, okay, so he knew I was a bad apple because.
So did he do it because he despised you, or did he do it?
He
because,
despised me because
it was more like a chess move, if you will. You know what I mean?
A little bit of both.
If you understand what I mean.
Yeah, a chess move, and he just wanted to.
And he genuinely.
Yeah, he not that he disliked. He disliked me, number one, because I was half Serbian, and he hated fucking Serbs. He really did. He hated it.
No wonder he tried showing off to you, though.
Right. And he saw that I wasn't gonna fly with that. He tried to change my last name. He wanted me to take my mom's maiden name. I kind of did it, but and I just was like, no, I want to go back to my name. And he got pissed off. And yeah, I was smoking weed back then. And yeah, I was boosting bikes, so I was boosting bikes. That's how I got started in the life, boosting. And then I don't know. I just remember passing a bike store one day with a stolen bike, and I went in. I was like, "Hey, I need some money. I lost my paper out. Can you take my bike? Can you give me something?" Guy knew it was fucking stolen. Back then, it was just, So that's how I started with that. And then he knew that I was doing that because when he came in the yard, we were superintendents in this apartment building, and he knew in the backyard what bike was there. And then one day he comes in and there's 20 fucking bikes. And then he asked me, "Penguino, where's these bikes from?" And I said, "Oh, they're my friends. We all hang out." This and that. He knew I was bullshitting.
Right.
But he was trying to tell my mom, and he was like, that your son is bad and this and that. And then he took my mom away from me, which is really, really fucked up. Took her away from me. I was left alone.
Gotta say, you didn't have anybody else.
11, 12 years old, and I was left the fuck alone for 5 days a week. And, my mom was... she
pretty much impossible for you not to go out.
Yeah, and then she would come home fucking Saturday and wash the laundry, fill up the fridge, and leave Sunday. So that was my life for a good 2 years. Nobody could tell me shit. I was fucking around. I was, I started boosting cars. I for the luck for me, growing up around that time was this guy Bruce. He lived next door. I think he was, I don't know if he was a lawyer or he was something like that. He worked in corporate in the city. He got me into bodybuilding. He was kind of more of a mentor figure to me. And he goes, if you're going to smoke, you smoke with us. Like weed, you know, I don't want you going out there and getting shit on the street. You know, like that's kind of what, like, if I didn't have that, I would have probably been in jail right away. Like, you know, real soon. But then also growing up with Italians in the neighborhood and, you know, making my bones with them. Like you know the story. I don't know if anybody else knows the story. I got picked on when I first started going to school in this new neighborhood. Everybody was like, "Oh, he's a Yugo."
Oh yeah.
And they, you know, you go, we all go. You know, it's just, dude. I was
like
getting.
What kind of name is Pej?
What kind of name is Pej? I didn't even have Pej. It was my name is Predrag. So there was like, oh, Predrag.
I bet every time you went to go do the Pledge of Allegiance, or like Pledge of Allegiance.
Well, I didn't get the name Pej until
like
13.
Till 13?
13, 14, when I got the.
So what did you do to get the name? Did they just give it to you, or like did
well,
they
you know, people couldn't say Predrag, Pej. They would say Prej.
Yeah.
And when I went from the Italian neighborhood back to Ridgewood, where it was predominantly Yugoslavian, it just Pej came out. And I
haven't gotten the Pledge of Allegiance or whatever.
Well, no, I did get that later on, like jokingly, but you know, the name Pej is kind of like it's already a nickname in Serbia. They say it's Peja, but Pej in English. So, and that's it got from there, and it just went from Prej to Pej to, you know. So it is what it is. I got my name, but like I said, if it wasn't for that guy Bruce and his wife, I would have been just fucking God knows where. You know what I'm saying? And then they moved away, and we moved, and we had to go. I think we moved to Maspet.
Why'd you move?
Some new guy bought the house. The landlord sold that. They came to us asking if we want to buy the house. I don't know what the fuck my mother was thinking. She should have just took a private note and took it. I think they would have gave it to her for like back then for like 38, 40,000.
Really?
And that thing's worth fucking $1.5 million now. It is what it is. My mom's always made bad fucking choices. So, yeah. So anyway, I'm not here to shit on my mom, but so this guy John that my mom was dating tried to plant drugs on me. My mom bought it hook, line, and sinker, kicked me out the house. So I was already boosting cars for some side cash, you know, and dabbling in like selling weed and stuff, but not cocaine. Not that fucking, you know. And that's what he said.
We're making
cocaine.
those kind of moves.
Yeah. And it is what it is. And look, I already know. You know, I don't know if it was my mom had a toothache or he had a toothache and he wanted to go get coke. And what was funny was he took me in to this place called the Ridgewood Groves Arena. There was dealers in there. It was a wrestling match going on. What the fuck? He took me in. He goes, watch the wrestling. And I saw him go to the guy. They did a little hand exchange and he comes back. And the stupid moron, he's in the car and he starts dipping in this little fucking like wax foil paper and he's on his tooth, and he goes, "This is good. It numbs your tooth." Telling me at a fucking young age, right? So
telling you what the fuck
when he said this coke shit to my mom, I said, "Why don't you ask fucking John?" Because he took me to the fucking Ridgewood Groves Arena to go cop a bag of. That's not true. That's bullshit. I'm like, yeah, bullshit. You did.
What the fuck?
So anyway, look, he tried to put hands on me, and my mom was like, "You're out." She kicked me out. A week later, I was bouncing off couches. I came back. Okay, but that's how I got like. You know, I mean, there's more stories to it. I don't want to sit here and fucking tell a fucking hour about.
Yeah, but that's just one.
Between 7 to, you know, but that's just one. That's how I started. And like I said, with the Italian guys in the neighborhood that I grew up with, I remember going into the basements and the summer kitchens and hanging out. And Grandma Nonna would be there. And, you know, she'd be like, "You want to mangiare, you know? Come and sit, you know." And I'd be like, "Okay," I sit down, you know. I'd be like, "Grazie, you know, signora," this and that. I picked up on Italian. And I would see the dads and the uncles and the wife beaters with the diamond pinky rings going in the other room. "Hey guys, here's $10. Go get some fucking bubble gum." You know, like, and we wouldn't get bubble. We'd walk out like we pretend to get bubble gum and come right back in and be like, ear to the fucking door. So we heard shit. We knew shit.
Yeah. And but you'd say that was your first. You know what I mean?
That was all mixed into one. It was just happening so fucking fast. Yeah. And I spoke to Frankie one time about it, and he goes, "That life, when you get in it, you're immersed in it, that it becomes like dominoes. It just, before your eyes, before you know it, you're committing some big fucking crimes. You got a crew.
Yeah, just like a couple weeks ago, you weren't doing crazy shit, but then now you're like...
Yeah, and it just... Yeah. You know, and I tend to say this a lot. When you're young, dumb, and full of cum, you do the most outrageous shit. You don't back down to anybody. You think you're fucking, Thor, like God of Thunder. It's like you don't give a shit. You just come.
Got some Kratos shit.
Yeah, like for real. You just come out and you just go fucking ape fucking shit bananas on people. And I did that. I would never have done that knowing what I know now and the way I feel now and, being through everything. I really proverbial sucked the good luck dick. For real, because...
Bro, got Diddy's blessing. What the fuck?
I've been shot. I've been stabbed. I've been batted. I've been fucking jumped. I've been shot at numerous fucking times. I mean, I've heard bullets whiz. It's like you don't forget that sound. It's just you hear it, and then you see shit exploding. Yeah. Look, I don't know. When you're young, you just take fucking chances, and that's why most gangsters they make their bones early. They commit their first robberies, their first fucking, shootouts, their first killings, attempted murders, whatever the fuck. You do that in the first fucking 10 years. So from a teenager to 25, 28, that's when you're doing all of this shit. And then you become fucking popular. They see you're making money. Then you get asked to come in. I, not being Italian, can never get asked to come in. I could be an associate. I could work under somebody, and I always did. I used to pay my respect to Vito Grimaldi. I used to Vito Grimaldi. And I was connected with Frankie's uncle, right. The Navarras. So that was the Bonanno crime family at the time, So that's, you just get introduced and it's like, And like I said on other shows, I fucking loved going to places where these people hung out because it was just like, I just want to be there to say hi once, just to get noticed, like, hey, that's a nice shirt there, kid, oh, are you the guy that fucking stole that car? Yeah, come here, let me talk to you, like, that's
Ask
what
you for one favor, and all of a sudden 2 weeks later, it's like you're doing like a big-ass job.
I got lucky, running around in that neighborhood. The 80s were a phenomenal time. I always talk about it. It was just a fucking learning experience. The music was fucking incredible. It was, I'm trying to paint a picture for everybody. It was like fucking, there was rock and roll. Then there was disco just started. Then fucking new wave. Then the new wave. And then the fucking glam rock. The fucking hair band fucking started coming out. So it was just year after year, different styles, different,
Right.
Oh, it was just, and the disco scene was exploding. All the clubs in the city and... It was phenomenal. But so from there, going to, back to Ridgewood to school is where I started making my bones like hardcore, because now I'm meeting Italians that I didn't kind of like grow up with, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I was in Glendale. So now I'm meeting other Italians.
Yeah, now like it's an entirely new, different clique.
Yeah, and what happened was, how I really started meeting the Italians was playing soccer. Playing soccer in the back of the schoolyard every morning. We'd come 45 minutes early. I'd get on a bus at like 6:30, get there by like 7:15 and play soccer till 8:30 till the bell fucking rang, and then we'd go inside. So we had the Yugos and the Italians. We were the ones. There was no Mexicans back then. Now it's the Mexicans are fucking playing, soccer and whatnot. But so that's how I started meeting people, and you graduate another grade, and you meet more people, and it just keeps going on, and and on and on. And my few connections that I met, I can't say some people's names because they're still active, but I could say I met Ralphie Schuler. I was a rockhead, so I just progressed into being a rockhead. So there was the Rockhead Corner by Junior High School 93, and then there was we used to call it the Guinea Corner, the Italian Corner, So you had the Italian Corner, and then you had the Rock Corner, and then you had like the fucking nerds and the whatever.
Yeah.
And then normally everybody else was in that little playground in the back before the bell rang and they went in. And there was a park across the street that we used to play soccer in. So I would play soccer, then I stopped playing soccer, and then like I started gravitating because I was starting to sell some weed. And I remember meeting Ralphie Schuler. He was on that, Guinea Corner, and Ralphie came over. I think he had 2 years on me. A year, 2 years, something like that. And he came over, he's like, hey, I need a bag of weed. And he's like, but I don't have any money. That was my in. to get in with the fucking Italians on that corner. So I was
Front
just
him a
like,
bag of weed.
I just was like, yeah, I got you, and I gave it to him, and I saw that he wasn't the next day trying to give me money and whatever and this and that, and and then he came again and he was like, hey, I need another bag of weed, and I was like, look, I'm gonna give you the bag of weed, but I told him, I said, you need to pay me, and if you think you're gonna fucking try to pull a fast one on me, I said, dude, I have these spikes on my hand for a fucking reason, and he was just like, no, I wouldn't do you like that, this and that, and he did pay me, but he saw that.
He just wanted to test.
Yeah, I think he did, because then, like, we got to high school. Of course, I didn't go. I was cutting out all the time. I was, again, selling weed on the corner, hanging out, doing our thing. And I started changing. I started going more into the cuisine, little by little. Like, my hair was down to here. Like, I had hair down to here. Fucking, had the eyeliner. I was like fucking heavy metal all the way. And I just cut my hair a little shorter, started DAing.
I'm sorry, but thinking that somebody like that's like dealing drugs is like really throwing me off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're sitting there fucking like with the new Metallica album, and they're like, you want a bag? You know what I mean? Just like sitting there going going from like headbanging. You know what I mean? Like and like doing air guitar.
Back in those days,
I know it's so weird.
Every rockhead or every group of rockheads had a guy that was either dealing weed, mescaline, acid, and shrooms.
Right.
And maybe a little hash. That was the thing. Okay, the Italians were more a little weed, a little cocaine, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and, me and Ralphie Shula ended up blossoming a relationship. I used to make him mixtapes when I started DJing. He took a real fucking liking to me. Every time he'd see me somewhere, he'd be like, take a ride. You need me to drop you. Yeah, it was a friendship, bro. And he was the one that introduced me to, to dealing coke. He was like, I don't need you going anybody else.
That was your end for that.
Yeah, that was the connect for that. Okay. But yeah, I mean, those times, I mean, there's more stories that are in there that, I mean, like, I could sit here and go, like I said, in a 3-year span, I can give you 300 stories, Yeah. And then there was like these other guys that I knew, the Agola brothers, and they were going around robbing the fucking taxi cab companies because they were like really into fucking, spiking and shooting up coke.
Yeah.
And it was, they were like pulling armed robberies. So that's like one of my first up close armed robbery fucking situations, being in the car with them and then, stealing a car and doing that, or me stealing a car for them. And then I didn't know what they were doing until they did it. And then after, they'd be sitting in the car like spiking up and going, hey, you want? I'm like, fuck no. That's like one thing I never got involved in. And there was a clique of guys, about 12 of them. Each one of them started fucking piping up and just, hitting.
Yeah.
And mainline, and I started to pull myself away from that, and that's when the crack explosion happened, and I just was like my life story, Marco. You know that I always dip my finger in the pond, and I would stay here 3 months. I would go, I'd be like 2 days here, 3 days there.
Because you were so fucking lucky. It's always like right after you leave. That's when crazy shit would happen.
It's always
just always fucking like right after you like. I don't feel like I'm gonna hang out with these people. All of a sudden they get into a car accident or some shit.
Those Agola brothers were dating two of my friends' two sisters, and I'm gonna say, hey, Andrea. That's all I'm gonna say. But Andrea was dating one, and her sister Jennifer was dating the other, and these guys, they were so like in love. These guys were doing shit right in front of their face, and then it just happened that they went to go rob a supermarket. They had, I think it was Jennifer was driving, or I forgot who was driving, sitting there, and they come running out with bags of cash, and they're like, drive. They freaked out. They ended up getting chased by the cops. They pulled over. Their dad was a cop. Their dad got them out of it, but those motherfuckers went away. And it just sucks that I kind of left that circle at that time. Maybe had I been there, maybe I could have pulled Andrea and Jennifer out of that shit. But it is what it is. I mean, everybody, dude, I got myself in a heap of fucking trouble, and there was nobody to help me the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. That's your fate, sometimes. But sometimes it's not your fate. Something tells you, let me not step here. But then you just like, fuck it. What happens if I do? You see, you don't get caught once, you don't get caught twice. That was like basically my life story. I didn't get caught. I didn't this, I didn't that, until I did get caught. And then I was like, got to change this, got to do this, got to do that. So I never did something long, but I just wanted to like give the audience a little idea on how it was.
Paint the picture.
But those days were like early 80s Cadillacs, Eldorados, Coupe de Villes, Lincolns, tinted windows, spoke tires, loud systems, to be a cousine, to be a fucking, hey, how you doing? And I started getting into it. I was dating an Italian girl, and I started just getting into that cousine thing a lot, and meeting every fucking body, you know what I'm saying? And, being well-liked. I was very well-liked. Yeah, I burned a few bridges because I had to learn. I had to learn how it was. But that in a nutshell is how I got introduced and how I, wanted to emulate this dude that my mom was dating. Because
that was your start, basically.
That was my start.
That's
that was my start. So, and I, just to get off a little topic, my mom and him broke up. And whatever, he went back home. He got married to some other fucking, twat-sickle or whatever. And he was in the neighborhood, but he was in fucking Pennsylvania or Philadelphia, whatever the fuck he was, because people were looking for him. And how do I know this? Is because I was hanging out in this kid Joe's dad's fucking cafe. Frankie and a lot of the guys from the neighborhood used to hang out in there. And it was right on the border of Bushwick and fucking Ridgewood. And this dude just got out of prison. A guy by the name of Galante.
Right.
Related to Carmine Galante. I think the nephew or I don't know if it was the son or the nephew. And he comes out and they're talking, and this other guy, I think his name was Pete Puma, something like that. And then they're talking, and Bob, this, that, and I heard his nickname because he was called Big John John. And this guy said,
call him Big John,
because he was fucking 6'5", bro.
Jesus.
He was a tall fucker, bro. And he was saying Big John John. So, my ears might, like it's like the antenna goes up. So we're playing cards, and again, Big John John. So I was just like, are you talking about Big John John? And I say his fucking last name. Yeah, how the fuck you know him? I was like, well, my mom was kind of dating him. I kind of called him like an uncle. You, come here. So I go over there. We go out the back into the yard. He's like, you know where he's at right now? I said, yeah. Like, not that I'm a fucking a snitch or a rat, but this motherfucker is a piece of shit. Like, what he did to me, like, fuck him. Like, it's time to pay back. I don't give a fuck. So I was like, yeah, he lives on fucking Stanhope and so-and-so, And he's just like, you for real? I said, I'll fucking take you there. I was like, I'll show you the building. Right across the street from the church. Okay. So he tells that guy, Pete. Pete takes a ride, comes back. He goes, what is he driving? I said, I don't fucking know. I said, but he's there. If he's not there, he's in fucking, PA. So I guess they scoped the house. They couldn't find him, right. Or whatever. But that's how I found out. And playing cards with them, I was like, hey, so what's the deal? And he was like, he's a fucking rat. He's a piece of shit. He put me in. He did this. He did that. I said, so is that rumor true that I heard in the neighborhood that they caught him with like fucking a Kia Coke and like $200,000 in cash? He goes, yeah, they caught him with that shit and he fucking flipped. So he was like putting people the fucking way because he kind of knew Carmine Galante was going to get whacked. He kind of knew this guy was going to go away. This was going to happen. So he figured in that turmoil, because he had a few connections with these girls he was banging from Washington or whatever the fuck. They worked for Tipper Gore. I don't know. I'm hearing so many different stories. I can't make heads or tails out of it. But this fuckface, So they never found him, but they kind of told me, yeah, this and that, So I run into him one day. I'm in the fucking bank. He's sitting down. He's like mean mugging me like this, right in my face, mean mugging me. And I'm all like, yeah. And I'm ignoring him, but I'm just like, And he's saying, Penguino. And I'm like, just staring straight. Then he says the name my mom calls me, Draghi. He goes, Draghi. And I turn, and he goes, hey. And I went like that. He goes, you motherfucker, this and that. And I'm just going for my fucking gun. Like, I'm just like this. Like, I want to have a shootout in a fucking bank. Like, I just was so livid, So he gets called in the back. I fucking get my fucking shit. I pay the mortgage. I dip the fuck out. I don't see him again. Then I see him a few months. I'm driving, and he, like, blew this fucking stop sign. And I'm like this, and I jammed on the brakes, and I jump out. I'm like, you motherfucker. And he goes, what's up, Penguino? Like, I'm like, fuck you, motherfucker. And I go to get my gun out of the car. I was going to start taking shots right there.
The fuck?
Yeah, like, dude, he's whatever. So to get to the point where, he kind of like fucked shit up was your ex-godfather had a kid. So we went to go celebrate. So we're sitting there celebrating, and we're ripping his shirts. We're in this fucking Romanian bar. He comes in. The bar is like this. He's sitting in that corner. We're over here. So I was like, I'm gonna fucking poke the bear. So I go straight up, and in the jukebox I put $5. $5 is like a half an hour, 40 minutes of music. So I put the $5 in, and I play every Serbian song I can find in the jukebox. I come back down. The first song kicks in. This motherfucker flips and goes, "Who the fuck put this Serbian shit on?" And the owner goes, "He did."
Right.
He goes, "Well, you tell him to turn that shit off." I said, "You touch that jukebox, I'll fucking smash this bar up in a heartbeat."
Right.
He hears and he goes, "Oh, you're a tough guy now, right?" I'm ignoring him. I go, "Is there somebody talking to me?" And she goes, "Stop, you know who he is?" I go, "Who is he? He's my left nut. He's a fucking nobody. Who the fuck is he?" You know? And my guys, you know, they're all drunk and they're like, "Well, who's that guy?" I was like, "Don't worry, I'll fucking take care of him." I go, "That's the guy that I told you about that, you know, fucked up my childhood and, you know, oh, let's fuck him up." I was like, no, don't worry about it. So he was with this guy that everybody in the neighborhood knows, okay? And he goes outside to get on his phone. He's all over there mira que pasa, calling up his fucking Spanish connects or whatever. And this guy comes over and he goes, "Hey, why'd you piss off John? Why, you know?" And I was like, "Fuck him." I go, "After what he did to my mom, beat on my mom and beat me when I was little and did all of that shit." I go, "He scarred me." I go, "Fuck him." He goes, "But you know who he is?" I go, "He doesn't know who the fuck I am." I said, "Yo, I'm not that little pipsqueak penguin kid that I used to call Penguin." I go, "I got a name, you know?" He comes in. All of a sudden, I see a drink coming. I'm like, "Who's this from?" So she goes, "John in the corner." I said, "I don't know anybody named John. Send it fucking back. Tell him to stick it up his ass." He sees this is not going somewhere. He goes, "You want to step outside?" Like I heard him say it. And then I answered him. I said, "If I fucking step outside," and I just was like this. And I showed him that I have a gun. I said, "Who's going to be first? You, with your little fucking Walter PPK that you've been carrying for fucking 30 years, Mr. fucking 007. You know, like, fuck him, bro. Like, on the real, bro. Fuck him." So I get home. Nothing happened. He peeled ass out of there because he saw I was packing. He takes off. This guy warns me. He goes, "You know, he's going to..." I say, "He could go fuck himself." I said, "It's my neighborhood now. He don't rule this neighborhood." And next day, my mom comes in and goes, "Hey, did you run into fucking John?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "He put hands on you?" I said, "What?"
What?
I said, "Put hands on me?" She goes, "What happened last night?" I said, No. You tell me what you fuck, because you just said put hands. I go, "Now I'm going to go kill this motherfucker." I said, "What put hands?" So somebody that my mom knows from our town back home, because he's from our town back home, he went and talked, you know, he has nobody to talk to. He goes and blows up some old lady's fucking ears. "Oh, I saw fucking Pedge. He thinks he's a tough guy. I showed him. I put ta-ta-ta-ta. I gave him a couple of smacks. Karate. Pa-pa-pa-pa." Motherfucker didn't do shit, bro. So I told my mom, I said, "So that's the story you got?" I go, "Yeah." I said, "Now I'm going to go to his fucking house. I'm going to find out where he is in fucking Philly." I said, "I'm going to call guys I got in Philly to look for him." I was like, "Fuck this." My mom goes, "No, don't, this and..." I said, "Don't tell me don't. That's like lighting a fucking fuse and going, trying to blow out the fuse. You can just make it go faster." So nothing ever came of it, you know? And the moral of this story is he fucking dropped dead, penniless in the fucking street, homeless. Fucking wife left him, took everything, went back home to Romania. And yeah, I heard my cousin called me from Philly and he goes, "Hey, have you ever heard anything about John?" I was like, "Fuck that motherfucker." And then I told him the story. He goes, "Yeah, I kind of heard that in Philly, but he was saying it different, like how he took you wild and he bitch slapped you." I was like, "Dude, nobody bitch slapped me." I was like, I'll take a bitch slap. Next day I'll come back and I'll fucking shoot up the house. I don't give a fuck. All right? So, but that's that little bit of his fucking story. And yeah, he passed away and I was just like fucking so overjoyed and jubilant. I couldn't wait to tell my mom. I'm like, "Hey, you never guess who died?" And she's like, "Who?" I said, "John." She goes, "My John?" I go, "Yeah, that fucking scumbag who used to beat you. Yeah, that John, you know?" My mom was all like, "Oh." I was like, "What the fuck? Oh."
Oh.
I go, "He broke your fucking jaw."
You're not going to get any more rights and lefts. What the
like,
fuck are you
for
fucking
real,
upset
bro.
about?
She has no teeth in her mouth because of this motherfucker. On the real. On the fucking real. So, whatever. He's fucking dead. Good fucking riddance. One scumbag less on the earth. So, yeah. So, look, I'm gonna cut the show at that. That's how I got involved in crime, and that's who this guy kind of influenced me. And it's a little story that I've never really told before in full detail like this. So, since it's our show, I thought so I could just
It gets so fruity, bro.
I could just like have free reign. Hello. So when I was a gangster, like whatever. I just needed to blow
San
some
Francisco-esque.
Look, I really needed to blow some steam off people. You guys are my therapy. I got started with that fucking what grinds my gears, but it was leading into this because this guy was a very essential, integral part of my life, and he used to be a bullshit artist. So he bullshitted a fucking 8-year-old, and it didn't get anywhere.
And he clearly
it just,
bullshitted like the whole story after, like when he was in the bar. You know what I mean?
To get back on him, one thing. So he's kind of like a godfather to somebody in my fucking family. I'm not gonna mention names. And we're sitting at a dinner table, and he's talking about John. Oh, John this and John that. And I just, dude, not to be disrespectful in somebody else's house, and I hate to be, you know that. I don't like being disrespectful in somebody else's house. But I said, not to talk in Serbian, I talked in Romanian, and I said, do you have to talk about this fucking piece of shit at the table in front of me? I go, especially after what he did to me and to my mom. And he goes, what are you talking? I said, these people don't need to know. You're blowing this guy up. He's a nobody. And I guess he got a little pissed off. And then he said in Serbian, I remember one time I took a bat to the head because of him. And I said, yeah, I heard that fucking story. I go, 1973, he came in, started fucking shit, walked out. The bats came out. He couldn't fucking fight. And there goes his fucking 3rd-degree black belt or whatever the fuck he was. And his fucking hapkido, fucking asshole. But anyway, yeah, look.
Got a black belt and bullshit.
Let me tell you something. I learned what not to do from him, what not to do. Just like my dad. My dad was a piece of shit, and I learned what not to do being a dad, opposite of what my dad did to me. So that's how I got involved in this fucking life. These are a few of the people that kind of, influenced me. I don't know if anybody's seen these shows when I mentioned Ralphie Shula. He was, like I said, an integral part. He was murdered. And, he died a horrible death. And my condolences to his family. It was a bad time those days. Those days people were dropping a lot. I lost in 1 year, I think 6 friends, 2 car accidents, murders. It was a bad fucking year. But I will do a continuation from that point from high school, and then getting into the juicy part from like 88, 89 into the early 90s where I started to meet Frankie Fiordolino. I'll start talking about that and tell a few fucking stories on that at a different time. But if you guys did like it, please comment down below. Let us know what your thoughts are. Or if you have any questions about that mob life, please feel free to drop it down below. Comment and let us know, and then I will address those questions. So once again, we're going to start going live. I just need to work out the bugs on how I'm going to get all this on the live, because from what I see, the lives, everything is on fucking computer. You go into StreamYard or whatever the fuck. I don't want to do that. I want to put the live straight out of the fucking mixer board and straight go live. And it's going to be something we're going to try.
Figure it out.
Yeah, I guess we're going to have Jay. I'm going to plug in her microphone, and I'm going to have Jay reading out certain questions that she's going to take notes. She's going to highlight. She's going to be like, hey, Joe P wants to know. And, we'll take it from there. And if she says, she'll rattle off names. Hey, this one says hi. I'll be like, hey, how you doing? You could say hi. So we could kill like 20 minutes just saying hi to people if people will join the live. So eventually we'll do that. So once again, hit the like.
Comment down below.
Subscribe.
Hit that notification bell so you don't miss us.
Hope you like the show, and hope you guys tune in for the next show of The Mood Lounge. Peace.